Hi ladies, welcome. The topic of this video is coping with menopause. I do sporadic check-ins in my support group to see how everyone is feeling and managing as they navigate their way through perimenopause and postmenopause. Because dealing with everything that often comes with menopause can be a real challenge. And I'd like to do the same for all of you. How are you managing? Are you okay? Because although menopause is a natural process, man, oh man, it's often not an easy one for a lot of us, myself included. Based on my experiences and those of the hundreds of women that I interact with month after month, there are 5 common obstacles and frustrations that many perimenopausal and postmenopausal women face that contribute to their inability to efficiently cope and can really affect quality of life. If any of these resonate with you, feel free to comment how these hurdles affect you and how you're feeling. Let me know if you're okay. I'm listening, and 8 times out of 10, I completely understand. The first obstacle, or dare I say hardship, that makes menopause a real struggle is the sheer number of symptoms that spring up out of nowhere and usually generate fear, discomfort, and anxiety. This is usually the trigger that starts the entire menopausal roller coaster ride in motion. I'm not exaggerating when I say there are 100 possible symptoms, and a large percentage of women have numerous discomforts cycling in and out at any given moment. Waking up day after day, often on a less than perfect night's sleep, with unpredictable and ever-changing symptoms is scary, exhausting, frustrating, and depressing, and makes functioning a nightmare. It's so terrifying for those whose bodies are acting up and doing unfamiliar things, in fact, that it often leads to numerous doctor's visits and has many women stuck on the medical hamster wheel, which is number 2 on my list of frustrations that make coping with menopause super hard. I can't count the amount of doctors I've seen in the last 7 years, and I have yet to get any real help with my menopause journey. The lack of knowledge and dismissiveness that I've encountered is unbelievable, and it's left me feeling afraid, frustrated, and defeated, and I'm not alone. So many women share my experiences, stuck on the medical hamster wheel, going from doctor to doctor with no real answers, and often a diagnosis of it's just anxiety. I have never felt more unheard and devalued than I do at medical appointments. If you are one of those rare ladies that has a compassionate and knowledgeable doctor, hang on to him or her because they are truly precious gems. The third obstacle that makes dealing with menopause such a challenge is health anxiety, which in my opinion stems from the last 2 points I just addressed, the list of symptoms and the lack of adequate help. Anxiety in general can make life so much harder, but fear of illness and dying can greatly affect quality of life. Having scary symptoms like heart palpitations, adrenaline surges, pain, dizziness, air hunger, and more is terrifying and can convince you that there is something terribly wrong with you. And hearing from the doctor that it's just anxiety doesn't help. It just leaves you worried about what they missed or dismissed because the discomforts are real. How can anyone function day to day like that? Unfortunately, it's a common occurrence among menopausal women. I honestly think it's unavoidable for those of us with lists of symptoms and very little help. Number 4 is the revolving door of treatments, trying different creams, supplements, HRT, and magic elixirs to feel normal again, and often being met with underwhelming results. I've spoken to a rare few that tell me that one treatment cured them of all of their ills. But the other 95% of us are on a constant quest for a remedy that is at least close to 100% effective. It's frustrating, exhausting, and sometimes expensive. In most cases, treating menopausal symptoms requires an entire lifestyle approach that includes things like diet, exercise, HRT, sleep hygiene, and so on. And keeping consistent with that when you feel like a giant bag of poop is a real challenge. Trying to cope with symptoms and anxiety while experiencing failed treatments and dismissive doctors can be incredibly overwhelming. Number 5 is lack of understanding. I can't tell you how many women share with me that they feel depressed, defeated, unloved, and lonely because no one understands what they're going through. They're struggling, and their partners, bosses, kids, and friends expect business as usual, and they're having trouble just climbing out of bed in the morning. On top of that, not having anyone to talk to, share your concerns with, or get support or validation from makes dealing with the burdens of menopause and life in general that much harder. I'm sure there are other reasons adding to the challenges of coping with menopause, like hormonal teenagers still living at home or caring for elderly parents. Those that I just mentioned are the ones that were most frequently shared with me. Let me know how you're coping with everything that perimenopause or postmenopause is throwing at you. Have you found anything to help you feel more like your premenopausal self that you think might help other women? I'm always listening and happy to hear from you. I wish you all health, happiness, and peace of body and mind, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.